Hello, vinyl community. Randy here. Video number 2. This is my second video. Trying again. I looked at my first video. I saw some problems there. I wasn't close enough. The records didn't show up big enough, so I'm going to hold them a little bit closer this time. Also, maybe go into a little bit more detail about the records. I think I went over those too quick. So, my idea for this video is I'm going to show you what is in my current play pile. So, I always have like a stack of records here right in front of my record player usually, or somewhere nearby, usually right in the same place, of records that are in the current rotation. So those would be like new records that I've bought and I haven't filed them yet because I'm still getting used to them, or old ones that I've pulled out, or just something I'm listening to. Everything doesn't go into the play pile, so sometimes I play something and refile it immediately, but other times I will play an old record and I'll leave it out because I won't listen to it again. So that pile, every once in a while, maybe once a month or so, I will just file everything away. But anyway, I figured this would just be a good snapshot of sort of like what I've been listening to for maybe the past month or so. Sample of it, because like I say, a lot of stuff does get refiled. So anyway, here we go. On the front of it is this Gary Burton record, Turn of the Century. The reason I have this one out is because I saw on Analog Planet recently Michael Fremer was talking about Gary Burton has a new compilation out. I think it's 4 records spanning his entire career. I would love to get that. I haven't gotten it yet, but it did remind me of this one. This is a compilation of his songs from the Atlantic years. I bought this record used. Has the cool Atlantic red and green label on it. Yeah, so Gary Burton is a vibraphonist, and Michael Fremer actually really described it perfectly, talking about the vibraphone. He just talked about how he loves that sound, and I realized that maybe about 10 years ago I was hearing on jazz radio or something a vibraphone. I thought, wow, that sounds great. So I've gotten into Gary Burton since then. I've got a few Gary Burton records. I got this used just within the past year, actually. Other vibraphonists I like a lot. Bobby Hutcherson's great. Cal Jader. Yeah, the guy from Modern Jazz Quartet. I can't think of his name right now. Bags is his nickname. I'll come up with that. Anyway, so here's the Gary Burton record. Sort of a mid-70s photo of him there with the long hair. Very cool. It's not really a great cover. Actually, what's happening on this cover, I think, is the mountains back here. Here's like a vibraphone, and then the mallets are coming across the sky, and you can see the reflections here. So, pretty good cover. Anyway, so that's the first one on the play pile. The next one on my play pile. This was in my first video. I did not pull this record out when I did the 2019 vinyl tag, but now I'm going to pull it out because I figure what's the point in showing the records if I'm not going to show you the gatefold. So the reason this one came up was most recent record I bought, I'd gotten 3 records at a used record store. This was one of them, Procol Harum, Home. It's pretty good. I've been listening to some Procol Harum lately. I have Broken Barricades, so that's the one I've been listening to a lot. And I saw this one there, and so I picked it up. It's kind of like that Broken Barricades record. It has the lyrics to some of the songs on the inside, but not all of the songs. I'm not sure I understand that because the words are all written by the same person, Keith Reed. Picture of the band there. You can see a young Robin Trower. It's his first band. I've been listening to a lot of Robin lately. Always listen to Robin. So, Procol Harum, Home. The other one, another one of the ones I got that day was this Vanilla Fudge album, which I also did not pull out of this plastic sleeve, but I will now to show you the gatefold. So if you saw that vinyl tag, and you're wondering why I didn't show it, I think I explained that. But anyway, this did have the original inner in it. This is one that I got used about a week ago. Really good cover. Fantastic cover. It's in great shape, too. The only problem with it is on the back of it here, that's becoming delaminated or something. I haven't seen that before. It is a gatefold sleeve. Shows the Vanilla Fudge team in there. It's a really good record. This record sort of like plays music throughout history, and I think they're saying the beat goes on. So yeah, it's a good one. I've become a big, sort of a big Vanilla Fudge. I'm listening to some Vanilla Fudge. Cactus is really what I've been listening to, and that sort of made me want to go back and listen to some Vanilla Fudge. So I think Tim Bogert and Carmen Apice were in the Vanilla Fudge and in Cactus. Good record. Here's one I've been listening to quite a bit recently. I picked this up, I don't know, a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. I don't really remember when I got it. Name of the album is Bluesette. This is actually credited to Curtis Fuller's quintet. Curtis Fuller's quintet with Benny Golson, Tommy Flanagan, Jimmy Garrison, Al Harewood. I kind of like the same with the vibraphone, the tone of the vibraphone. I really love the sound of a trombone, which you really don't hear that much. They don't do a whole lot of band leadership records, I guess, but Curtis Fuller is the leader on this one. And it's interesting, actually, here in the liner notes, they talk about how the album is actually really dominated by Benny Golson. Benny Golson, saxophone player. But the record's really good. I've really enjoyed it. And I'm still playing it some. This is a reissue. I think it came out. I think I just got this within the past couple of years, or maybe 2014 was when I got it. Sounds really good. Oh, and this one does have a really cool Savoy label on it. Yeah, that's just plain black vinyl. One thing I like a lot about these jazz records is that, they're not usually credited to one person like Curtis Fuller, but there's always other people playing on it. So like Benny Golson, for instance, a big Benny Golson fan, sax player. Tommy Flanagan, piano. Love Tommy Flanagan. So I like the jazz records because even though they're usually credited to one person, it's usually pretty well split up. I've noticed, like, for instance, on some of the Miles Davis records, it's like, it sounds like maybe he's only playing for 10 or 15 minutes and the rest of the band's playing. Obviously, it's all good. I love Miles. Here is one in the play pile that I got off of Discogs just a week or so ago. This is Bayou Country. When I first got this in the mail, I was a little bit disappointed. The cover was pretty much as advertised. I think he said it was good. I think he said very good to very good plus. I can probably go with that. When I first played the record, it seemed like there was an awful lot of snap, crackle, and pop, but I cleaned it another time or two and listened to it, and yeah, I would say it's very good. Very good to very good plus, so love these fantasy labels. You can see the record's in good shape, so it was a really good one. I'd never heard the entire Bayou Country album before, so been liking that. Been listening to some Creedence lately. An interesting song on here I thought was the last song on side one, Graveyard Train. Sounds a lot like Smokestack Lightning. Really a lot. To me, it reminds me a lot of the version of Smokestack Lightning on the Bear's Choice Grateful Dead record. So that was a good one. Let's see. Just carrying on with what's in my play pile here. Here's a record that I just got last week, I think. I ordered this from Jackpot Records. West Coast pop art experimental band. It's their third album. I've seen someone on the VC talking about West Coast pop art experimental band. I'm not sure who it was. Maybe Earhead 6, maybe Bo up there possibly, or I can't remember who it was. But I've really been enjoying it. I've gotten all three of their records here within the past year. This is the most recent one that I've got. I haven't listened to it too much yet, but it does sound very good. Some of the stuff is actually kind of disturbing. Like, until the poorest of people have money to spend. Gosh. Yeah, anniversary of World War III. But it's a really good record. I was glad to get that one. Obviously, a reissue there. I've been listening to all of their records. I got this one earlier in the year. This is their second album. West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band. Also on Jackpot Records. Also, obviously, a reissue. This one was a lot better than the first one, I thought. I've enjoyed all three of them. Here's the first one. I got this at a used record store here in Nashville. Actually, I'm trying to identify this. I can't really identify it from Discogs because there seems to be some confusion. This one is on red vinyl, but in the comments on Discogs, I'm seeing that they say the label doesn't say anything about Reprise on it. And this one obviously does say Reprise. I think that was the original label back in the 60s. So I don't know if Reprise put this out. I mean, I just can't find any information on it. It's made in USA, Warner Brothers Records. But I just don't see any orange ones or red ones that are listed on there. So if anybody does happen to know. This is a good one. It has a fairly cool cover here. This is not on Jackpot Records, though. It appears to be just Reprise Records. Reprise. So, West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band. Enjoyable. We'll listen to them soon. Next one in the play file, Rush, Hemispheres. As I noted in my Vinyl Tag 2019, I'm going to start listening to more progressive rock. And I believe it was Notes Review. Talked about Rush. Yeah, once again, I can't remember who it was, but I never listened to Rush too much back in the day, but I'm going to start listening to them now. I've enjoyed this one so far. This one, actually, I got this at Grimey's. This is actually the 40th anniversary edition. It comes with 2 more records in here. It has some live records on it, so and it came with some other cool stuff in there. So yeah, Rush, Hemispheres. Yes. I've been listening to Yes, Time and a Word, their second album. This was a Black Friday record store day release, also on the Atlantic label. Just plain black vinyl. Evidently this is a different cover from what was originally released in the United States. I'm really not familiar with the original, but once again, like I said, I'm starting to listen more to progressive rock. Yes would be a band that I had actually listened to more in the past, but I hadn't had this before. And this is an excellent album. This might be my favorite Yes album. I really like this. It's kind of surprising too, because this is with Peter Banks on guitar. So before Steve Howe came along. Good record. I didn't actually get that on Black Friday, but it was still available when I went back a couple weeks later, so I picked it up. Here's another one that I've been playing recently, Interplay. Bill Evans. That's a great cover, isn't it? Just some art on there. The reason kind of like I mentioned before with the jazz records, you get other people playing on them. So I love Bill Evans, but this is really great because it has Freddie Hubbard playing trumpet, Percy Heath on bass, Jim Hall on guitar. Love Jim Hall. Philly Joe Jones on drums. So it's sort of a all-star lineup. So you can see what they all look like there. Good liner notes. These are all just mostly all just cover songs like You and the Night and the Music, When You Wish Upon a Star, I'll Never Smile Again, You Go to My Head, and Wrap Your Troubles in Dreams. There's one original on here, Interplay by Bill Evans. Fantastic record. Really good. That's just out just because I was listening to that and I decided I wanted to listen to it some more. Comes on Riverside Records. Obviously a reissue. Nothing original. Yeah, due to that Michael Fremer video talking about vibraphone, I got out this Gary Burton Chick Corea record, Crystal Silence. This one that I picked up a couple years ago. It was reprinted in 2017, I believe, or somewhere in there. Has a free download. I don't think I ever used that. Maybe I should download that sometime. This is excellent. This was recorded, I think, like in Norway or in Oslo. This is just Chick playing piano and Gary playing vibes. Really good. Crystal Silence is a perfect title for it. Beautiful cover. Yeah, Chick Corea. This is he's playing piano on there. I've just recently I've started listening to some. I want to listen to more Fender Rhodes, and Herbie played some of that, but there's no Fender Rhodes on that one, unfortunately. Here is another one that I've just been listening to. I've had it for a long time, but recently listening to it. Errol Garner plays Misty. Isn't that a great cover? Wow. Really like that one. This is just such a cool album. It's just so casual. It's just him and a drummer and a bass player. It sounds like he could be sitting in a nightclub taking requests. But it's not live. It is a studio record, and it's really good. Errol Garner. That is on Mercury Records. Yeah. I think that maybe has sort of a good... Well, actually, it's kind of a boring label. It's all black. Black and white. Alright. Carrying on. I haven't actually even taken this out of the plastic. Yeah, I haven't played it yet. This is the Black Friday record store day. This is the Blue Cheer record. I haven't played it yet. I've been saving it. Because I heard people on the VC talking about how they said it was really great. And it's only one side, so, you know, I'm kind of tight with $1. I don't necessarily like to spend $25 for one side, but several people in the VC... Vinyl Rich, I think, a couple other people have assured me this is going to be good. So I've been saving it, and I'm going to listen to it. Blue Cheer. I haven't even looked at it yet. Oh, yeah, this has a poster in it. Yeah. Oh, wow. It's on blue vinyl. On Beat Records. Beat Rocket. Beat Rocket Space-Related Sounds. Clear blue vinyl, wow, nice looking. And it looks like there is I guess I do remember them advertising a poster in here. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah. There you go. Blue Cheer. Star of the Week. Won't that look good on my wall? Last one in my current play pile. This is a Black Friday record store day record that I got on Black Friday. This is Herbie Hancock Flood. This one he does play. Some Fender Rhodes. This is a live album. I believe it was recorded in Japan. I've only listened to this a couple times so far. It's really good. I haven't gotten around to listening to it a whole lot. Maybe I haven't been in the mood for it necessarily, but I am going to listen to it. Going to listen to it a lot. Who plays on this? These people I'm not quite so familiar with. Benny Maupin is on here, but otherwise Paul Jackson, Mike Clark, Bill Summers. Not too familiar with them. Blackbird McKnight on guitar. The guitar work on here is really good. Blackbird McKnight. I'm familiar with him. So that's it. That's my current play pile. Maybe I'll start doing these occasionally. Like I say, the play pile, after a while, everything will get refiled, and I'll start something new. So that's it. thanks for watching, yeah, and yeah, have a great day. Bye.